welcome back again to Talk Football Live. We're bringing you a special edition today. As you guys may all know, we have two English teams in the semi-final of the Europa League. And as we like to do on here, we like to get our fans' perspective. So we bring in Reuben here, a Spurs fan, and Yinka from Manchester United. How are you guys feeling today?
Well,
Pretty good.
today
Good,
not
good,
so
good.
good, but it's all
I
about God.
mean, the league is pretty much written off. So I think whatever result you guys get in there, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get relegated, which was maybe looking possible
That's
at
what,
one point.
I mean, we could still finish 17th, which is pretty much the same as relegated, but
Oh my God. Is it really? Is it?
it pretty much is. I mean, think about it. Like, if we had like a Leicester City with prime Jamie Vardy, or if we had like or Sunderland where you had to play at Britannia, like we legit could be talking about relegation. So I don't
Yeah,
think there's anything to be happy about.
Would you be
yeah. But
happy to
but but
win
the,
the
the
Will I be happy? Seeing if we win the Europa League, I think in the moment, yes, celebrate, be happy. But like at the end of it, I want to see a strongly worded statement from like every single person in leadership, just talking about how this is an abject failure from start to finish. Like, and talk about how you're gonna turn it around. Yeah, in the moment, celebrate, but I don't want to see any boss tour. I don't want to see any party. I don't want to see Instagram champagne. I don't want to see that. I just want to see a strongly worded statement from like the CEO, the owners, just saying, "Hey, look, we messed up this season, and we're all about next season." But I don't even want to get ahead of that because we still have to play Bilbao. So
yeah.
Yeah, let's paint the picture for our fans. So in the semifinals of the Europa League, right? Manchester United, I was about to call call them Yinka. Manchester United won their first league against Athletic 3-0, and that was away. So the second leg will be at Old Trafford. They have a healthy 3-0 lead. Spurs, on the other hand, played Bodo Glimt, and they won their leg 3-1, right? So both teams, I think, are looking healthy going into the second leg. As long as you don't maybe lose more than one or two goals, maybe from both teams, you're safe, right? You just need a draw. Worst case scenario, maybe a 1-0 loss, and both of you are pretty much set for the finals. So that's the scenario we have in here going into the second leg. I want to take you guys' opinions of how you felt after watching the first leg. How do you feel going into that second leg and possibly one foot in the finals? I'll start with you, Ruben.
so how I felt about the first leg, I was feeling super confident. Like I was super happy with the result. Oh, let's end it 3-0. It looked like we could have even gone four, even five. There was two shots towards the end, but then like when they scored that one goal, I know it's still 3-1 victory. I was like, the way they scored it, because it was a score from basically came from a mistake from us. So I was like,
Mm.
are we gonna blow it? Right? Like that's the first thought because we've done it before. We've done it where we're up 3-0, 3
You've
0
done it
and
several times, Ruben.
several times. Yes. Thanks for the reminder. Nobody needs to know that. No, there could be someone that doesn't want to spoil it. They didn't need to know that. So, but so, uh, I was happy with the win. I would have been happier if it was 3-0 or even like I said 4, because it looked like it. It was we were pushing for that fourth goal and got us that and got them to score that first one because we're trying to like win by like a lot
Yeah.
so we can secure like the pressure.
Okay.
Gotcha. And you, Inka? It sounds like you're still not, from what you said before we got on here, it sounds like you're still not confident with the 3-0 lead away
nah.
going
So I
into the
was
second
surprised the
leg.
first leg. I was very surprised. I mean, the first goal, Harry Maguire, the right wing back.
Why?
Like I really enjoyed that one. And then actually, even before the first goal, I think Garnacho scored one. It was offside. Maguire then. So I mean, I was surprised. Obviously, like the red card helped. I thought it was the red was a bit harsh. Penalty, yes, but I thought the red was harsh. And then the third goal, okay, great. Personally, I would have liked in the second half for us to like score the fourth and fifth and just finish them. Like you're not ever going to be in this position again. But the fact that we didn't do that kind of tells you like where this team is. Like they're scared, they're timid, not real. There aren't any real characters there. So like I was a little bit disappointed to be honest. But like to your point, like we're talking about the second leg. I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all. I think uh, the same scenario that happened at San Mamés, which is red card, penalty, all of that can happen at Old Trafford. And
Mm.
that's why I said all they need is one goal. If they score one goal, there's no control. There's no leader in the team to kind of like get everybody together. So
Mm.
personally, like I'll be looking forward to Bruno, Maguire, Casemiro to like those are the leaders I consider in the team to kind of just settle the team down. But yeah,
Okay. So from what you guys are saying, Ruben, you are confident, but you expected more.
Yeah.
Yinka, you are not confident, but you expected more. Basically, is what you guys are saying. And I mean, you guys are leading 3-1, 3-0, and you still, well, one of you is confident, the other one is not. What do you think? This is for Yinka. What do you think will go wrong in the next leg? Because if you're, I understand you're looking at all aspects of what Man U is doing, looking at the Premier League, what they've been, and most recent results haven't been the best, but they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't really played the full team in the Premier League. You understand? So don't you think that plays a part to their bad performance in the Premier League, and you shouldn't be using that to judge what can happen in Europa? So basically, what do you think could go wrong in Europa? I mean, you're leading by 3 goals.
I think I just told you what could go wrong. I just played the scenario out. Like
Score one
literally
goal.
everything that
Basically,
happened at
if they score 1 goal, you don't think Man U can reply?
See, first of all, Bilbao, we don't give them a lot of credit, like, but they actually have the best defensive record in La Liga. Like, they have the best defense in La Liga, and that's why I said I was very surprised. Like, we were 3-0 up away from home. Now, again, the red card helped.
Yeah.
So they're a very difficult team to break down. And Man U, we don't score a lot of goals. I don't know if you know this, but so like, you have that it seems like a recipe for catastrophe. Now, I don't know how our Amorim is going to set the team up. In my mind, if I'm him, park the bus because I think that's how we played better when we parked the bus. We did it well against Liverpool, against Arsenal. Sorry, Ayo, but like when we parked the bus, I think we are a little bit more. We have a game plan. If he tries to go for it, I think we're in trouble. So that's why I said I genuinely don't know how it will go, but I'm not confident at all.
So you suggest packing the bus. Okay, fair. And Ruben, what do you think? I mean, you are confident. So I wouldn't even ask you what could go wrong. But how do you think the team should set up to get the results in the second leg?
Don't overdo it. I feel like sometimes we got because of injuries, we got so much young talent. And sometimes these kids are trying to prove themselves, like they belong to be a starter in the team. And like I said, like that fourth goal we were trying to go for, that fifth, we made a mistake that got them the ball back and caught us off out of position. So the thing we need to do is just play simple because like I just said, like we could lose 1-0 and we're advanced. We don't need to go for like the knockout.
Yeah.
Just safe. No, I don't believe in parking the bus. I always feel like every time somebody parks the bus, they get. I mean, like look at Barcelona and Atletico, right? And we're talking La Liga because I don't want to bring up the Liga too much, but Atletico was up 2-0, parked the bus, they lost 4-2. So it's like that's how I feel like about like the Spurs. We're not
Maybe
we're
the
not good
impact
at we're not good at parking the bus. Maybe Man U is good at parking the bus. We're not even. I don't even think we can drive the bus. but 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 no. Just keep it simple. Don't make mistakes on the defensive side and win advance by getting a draw or a 1-0 win. Like, we don't need that 3-0 again or 3-1 again. Like, just keep it simple. They say keep it simple, stupid. You've ever heard that? Friends, like,
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me. We'll still come and talk about you guys' chances for the final. Assuming everything goes well, you guys make the final. I want to turn the attention to the managers a little bit, right? And I have questions for you both. I'm gonna bring up a graphic that I saw today for Manchester United, which was very interesting. So if you look over here on the win ratios, right? No doubt Alex Ferguson is the boss. But when you look at it, right, Eric Ten Hag, who you guys just fired, actually had one of the better win ratios. Granted, it seemed like no one could understand his style of play or what he was doing, but when you look at it, his win ratio seems decent in comparison. Now we have Amorim who's coming, and the win ratio looks shambolic. And I think you said it as well. You're thinking going into the next season, regardless of even if you guys are able to win this Europa League, right? In your mind, you feel like this season is a failure. How do you think, or what is your opinion of Ruben Amorim so far? And are you thinking he should still retain? Are you thinking he's the right man to continue to lead Man U going into next season?
So personally, I don't think managers are the problem at Man U. So it doesn't really matter who the manager is. They could have hired Pep with his assistant being Inzaghi, maybe the goalkeeping coach being Van der Sar. Personally, I don't think that matters. I just think there's so many other things wrong with the club. But to
Um,
address your question directly, like, first of all, I wouldn't have fired Ten Hag. I wouldn't have given him a new
mhm.
contract. I would
Okay.
have waited for him to finish out this season
Mm.
because he would have been in his last year.
Yeah.
And depending on how things went at the end of the year, then you can decide, okay, like, do I want to keep this guy or do I want to move him on at low cost? Because let's face it, we don't have money also.
Yeah.
So personally, I would not have fired him. But if the rubber meets the road, you decide, all right, I got to move on from the manager. I would have gotten a manager that can work with the system, the 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 that Ten Hag plays. I think what Amorin is trying to do is going to take a lot of time and it's going to cost a lot of
Mhm.
money. Two things that we don't have. We don't have time and we don't have money. So because what will happen is the summer will come, they will spend
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
The players will then be for Amorin, but he hasn't really given us any reason to believe that he's the right manager. So
Mm.
in a year, 2 years time, things aren't going well. You fire him, then you bring in another manager. Now the manager is with players who have wing backs. There aren't too many managers
Mm.
that play with wing backs.
Yeah.
There aren't too many managers that play with two number 10s. So these are the kind of things where. So yeah, to answer your question on Amarin, I don't think it's his fault. I personally don't think it's his fault, but
Okay.
I do think he should be doing more with the players that he has.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, but do you think he's a good manager though?
I think he's a competent manager. Like, look
Okay.
at Arne Slot. Like, if Ten Hag was the manager of Liverpool and that same Liverpool team, they probably would have won it or like would have challenged. I think they would have challenged. I don't know if they would have won it, but they would have challenged.
Okay.
So I think a lot of times, like we say, manager, 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 but I think sometimes it's about the squad and the balance. Like that Liverpool team is complete, in my opinion.
Mm.
And obviously, there were a lot of fall offs. Arsenal, they did an Arsenal as usual. Man City fell off.
Yeah.
So like it was just there for Liverpool. But I think he's a competent manager. I want him to be successful. But if the leadership, the structure above him, if they don't do the right thing, if they spend money stupidly, if they don't recruit right, I don't see it working out. And unfortunately, the blame will be on him.
Yeah.
Got it. And so let me come around to you as well, Ruben. Right? There's been a lot of talk with about Angie. I personally felt like Angie should maybe have been fired earlier in the season because some of the results that we're seeing from Spurs, as much as I don't like Spurs as an Arsenal fan, and as much as I'm happy to see Spurs fail, some of the results I was
Thanks.
seeing were not were not befitting of what I expect to see in the English Premier League, right? I expect to see competitive games. I expect to see both teams going at each other, and some of those results it was just like back to back to back to back losses where you clearly don't have the squad, right? He was dealing with a lot of injuries, but still setting them up to attack when they don't
Yeah.
necessarily have the tools, and then they were falling to like heavy losses.
Yeah.
But again, something he's told us is I always win a trophy in my second season. The Europa League seems to be that opportunity. How are you feeling about Angie? Are you thinking he stays going into the second, into the next season? Is he the right manager to continue to lead Spurs? Or is it a thing where regardless of how it ends, win Europa League or not, we say bye bye?
So I have mixed feelings about him because I liked him at first. Everything looked so promising the first year, and things just went sideways. I feel like how to put it. I feel like he needs to learn now. If he wins it, let's say he wins the tournament. Um, Now I'm over here like have mixed feelings. Like, do I want him to be back? There are ways I want him to be back, but I don't think he would do this. And one of the things is change it up, right? He doesn't change up his game, like you said. Injuries or no injuries, he plays everyone the same, and not everyone can play the same way. Like not everyone's as fast as our Van der Vaart, right? Like no, but not he and then he's injury prone. So if you have him running up and down so much, and that's causing him to get injured, like why not change it up to adapt to the players? Because a lot of times, like yeah, we were just talking about, right, with them, like the managers are not always at fault, but at the
Mm,
same time, it's like for us, it's like he's mostly at fault because he's not seeming to be able to adapt to our game style, or
mhm.
like he doesn't go by the strengths of the players, what they can and can't do. He's just like, oh, this is the way I do it. We're gonna do it this way all season long, no matter how many people get injured. We'll bring in the fourth strings, like, and let's keep it going like that. So my mixed feelings here is like, if he, if I can see him changing and seeing, look, we just won a trophy. We're not gonna play the same style because it didn't work the first 2 years. We're gonna change things up. Then yes, keep him. But I don't see him doing that. So regardless of the result, he needs to go. Ancelotti, hey, come on over. He's leaving Manchester.
Wow.
He's
You're
leaving
dreaming,
Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid.
He's leaving Real
you're
Madrid.
dreaming big.
Brazil didn't hire him.
Wow.
He's gonna be free. He's gonna be bored. Come do something in the Premier. Like, I mean, at this point, like, yes, whether he wins or lose, because I don't think he would do that. What I said about him saying, "Hey, I'm gonna try it a different way for the third season." I don't want a season to be wasted. Yes, we
Mm.
can lift up the trophy and say the same. Like, I'm gonna be excited, happy, but then hey, let's see what can we do for the Premier. Like, it's been 60 plus years, no trophy. Leicester City got a trophy. Like, come on.
And I see how you feel, Ruben. So a lot of what you guys are saying, so there are times when teams should change and play the way the manager wants. But there are also times when a manager should play the way a team play to team's strengths, the player's strengths. I think you guys are saying the same thing in that regards.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into. I'm going to jump ahead into the final because you guys are doubting, you are not sure, whatever you guys are saying. Me, I've seen Man U and Spurs in the final already. In fact, as of right now,
It seems so.
I already know who is winning the Champions League, who is winning the Europa, and who is winning the Conference League. I told you how you behave is how I'll tell you who will win Europa. It was how I'll end up deciding. But regardless about that, I'll see you guys in the final, Man U versus Spurs. It's a good thing one English team is going to win. At least one English team win the European trophy, confirmed. How do you guys think that final should go? Now, I know as fans you say you want your team to win, but with what you've seen from your team so far, how confident are you that your team will win? how do you think your team should set up considering the opponent they'll be facing? Reuben, if you want, you can go first.
I just want Maguire to go back to his old ways, so we can have an easy win, right? Like give us an own goal, you know, give us an own goal here, and no, but all jokes aside, though,
But I want to hear your starting 11 though for the
my
final.
starting 11.
Yes, considering you're playing Man U, allegedly, starting 11 for the final to face Man U.
So because they're saying Human Son's almost back, I don't think we should play him in this game. We're moving on to the final. So Son, um,
You're starting from the front.
so I'm gonna start from the back, right? So go start from the defense. Romero, Puro, Udogi, and Van der Ven. In the middle, I'll put Madison and Bentancur to what? So we playing. I haven't even been paying attention to how we. Okay, so I already gave you a 4. So Bentancur, Madison. We get
Isuma?
yeah, right there in the middle, and then we get Son. See, I don't know about Johnson. Like, I don't know about Johnson. I would go Kulusevski because he hasn't been. I don't know what they've been like. He's back. He's not in top shape, but he's been playing. I just like what Kulusevski brings, so I'll put Kulusevski, and in the middle, it has to be Solanke? No, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. God, I wasn't really happy with him, like when we got him, because I wasn't sure what he was gonna bring to us. But did I miss anyone?
Did a lot for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like a solid 11.
yeah.
Very
So my bad, y'all. I'm a little out of it. Like you can tell what the logo I'm wearing. Like it's
You're
it's
being
like
Spursy right now.
this is the only thing I'm confident about. It's like this league right now, not the Premier. It's not this
so
one.
with that lineup, you're convinced you can beat Manchester United.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, and Maguire. I forgot to put Maguire in the. That's our number 12 player.
But hopefully, I like that.
So for context, I'll show the lineup against Bodo Glimt in the semi-final.
Okay.
So this was how Spurs lined up.
Well, I guess we should be asking Ruben what tweaks would he make?
Pretty much the exact same lineup.
Yeah, pretty much the same lineup.
No, yeah.
Although he said he wasn't sure of Johnson.
Johnson, I would switch Johnson for Kulusevski.
No, Kulusevski, okay.
Okay, fair.
Or
So
if they want to
Son
start, or
started
if they
with
want to,
Richarlison.
or if they want to start Johnson, see how he plays out. And if like things, if things are not looking good, then put Kulusevski in. But I don't want to take that gamble on the final. Like I don't want us to be down 2-0, and Johnson's not contributing on that side. And then, but lately he's been assisting. So like it's like, but I'll still, if I got to pick, it's Kulusevski, especially if he's looking like he's 100% now. I will go Kulusevski.
Okay, fair. Yinka, what about you? I know my use, because like you said before, you said my use is not really what the issue with my use is not really just the manager. There's so much more going on with the team. But let's go back to just on-field matters. How do you think, because the players have their issues too, we know that. How do you think they should set up for the final, provided you guys get into the final? And you're playing Spurs, which we've talked about earlier. Spurs are all attack, no defense really, but they defend when they need to.
Yeah.
With the whole attack coming at you, you do need to be ready for that. So how do you think you should set up to face Spurs in the final?
So this makes me nervous because we've already lost to Spurs 3 times this season. We lost home and away, and then we lost in the Carabao Cup. When they came to Old Trafford, I mean, it was a proper pasting, 3-0. And then the Carabao Cup was that's the one where Son scored Olympico from corner kick straight into our net.
Yeah.
So I'm not confident about that final if we do make it to the final. But if we do set up, I think forget what I think. I mean, I think Amorim's starting 11, obviously Onana, then Euro, Mazraoui maybe, and then either Delict or Maguire. Delict got injured today, so it's probably going to be Maguire. Dogo left fullback. Dalot, I don't think Dalot would be available, so Ahmad will probably play at right wing back. Ugarte. No, this is
That's a big plus for you guys that Ahmad is back. He scored
I
today
think
Ahmad is
so.
too.
back.
I mean,
Yeah.
he scored a wonderful goal today, and
Yeah.
you could see like when he's on the ball, you can just tell he's on a different level.
Mm.
But in the middle of the pitch, I think that's where Amorim has a big call because Casemiro has been exceptional in Europa League. I think the reason why he's good is because Europa League is a little bit slower and he can manage. But we're playing Spurs, so this is technically a Premier League game. So what do you do there? Like you could play Kobe Mano, but I still think Casemiro is probably the better pick just because of his experience. And then he'll probably play Fernandes, Garnacho, and then Rasmus Højlund as strike. But I don't feel I would probably. The thing is, there's a blueprint to beat Spurs. I mean, they've lost like how many games this season right now? Like, there's a template to beat them, but can we execute it? Given that we have our own problems as well. So,
What's that template?
I mean, they're gonna attack and they're gonna play this very high line, which means you can expose them through runs. Garnacho is fast and Hoyland is fast, and you can expose them. But like, I just, but the template has been there all season, and somehow we've lost all the 3 times we've played to them. So, what does that say about us? I do think Ange in the final, though, he might just tweak it a little bit. Like, I think he might just sit back a little bit. And they did it against Frankfurt, either home or away, where I think it was 1-1 or like 1-0, and he just kind of like settled down a little bit. He didn't go all attack. So,
Hmm,
yeah.
interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see. But for me, I'm so I don't feel confident that Man U will win. Honestly, that's just my honest opinion.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's round it up at this point. I'm just gonna go ahead and take, because we always do, predictions
Predictions.
both for the second leg and the final.
Okay.
Start with you, Yinka.
So for the second leg, I told you I really don't feel confident. I think we will lose the game, but we will win the tie. So
Okay.
it will like maybe 2-0, 2-1, something like that to Bilbao. That's for the second leg.
Okay.
I
And
think
then
and then the final.
the final.
Yeah. I'm asking that expecting both teams to be in the final. So yeah, go ahead.
So assuming Man U and
Of course.
Tottenham play the final, I say 2-1 to Tottenham, or 2-0 to Tottenham again. And an interesting kind of fact. So I'm actually going to Manchester to watch the West Ham game next Sunday. So I'll be
Okay.
there.
Nice.
But it's actually pretty weird because let's assume we beat Bilbao, right? The next game is West Ham. I think he's going to play the kids.
Yep.
Yep.
The following game is Chelsea. It's on a
I hope-
Friday
I hope he
at
plays the
home.
kid.
He's going to play the kids because do you know what? The next game is the Europa League final.
Final.
And then we now have our last game of the season. So I think he's gonna play the kids for that Chelsea game, and we're gonna get beat really bad because Chelsea, they're going for top 5 or top 4, and you would not want to risk the kids. I would not want to risk injuries to the Europa League. So he's gonna
Yeah.
play the kids. So we're gonna
Because
lose
Chelsea
that
are
game.
gonna play that game like it's a final.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chelsea are gonna play that game like it's a final. So
Yeah, we have five finals to go.
so yeah, like it is what it is. Like we're not gonna win any other Premier League game this season, and we won't even get 40 points. I don't think we're gonna get 40 points. So, yeah,
And you also don't think you win the Europa League final?
I don't think we'll win Europa League. No.
Wow, not looking good.
No.
And you, Reuben? Predictions?
Okay. I could see us for the second leg again. Without any, if we're playing it safe, we're gonna we're gonna play for that 1-0 or draw. But I feel like we're gonna go ahead and win 1-0, advancing to the finals. We're in the finals. In the finals, I got us winning as well. Maybe not two. Yeah, like we predicted 2-1, 2-1 or 2-0. I think it's gonna be a 2-0 as well. Win just because of like you mentioned, we beating y'all 3 times already. And if like sometimes like you can win 2, 3, and then you end up facing someone, and then for the fourth time, and maybe you guys finally solve
Figure it
that
out.
riddle, figure it out at the fourth time. Usually they say third one's a charm, but for some teams it could be the fourth one. But I can see us, but I actually have us winning 2-0. I'll just leave it as that. Like
Okay. So
So you
similar,
guys are
very similar predictions.
yeah. Spurs win
2
2-1 or 2
0 2.
2-1.
Yeah, Yinka said 2-1 or 2-0. Ruben says 2-0.
yeah, so we're gonna start 2-0. I got 2-0.
Okay.
Either
I was
way,
gonna say I was gonna make it interesting and say we're down 1-0, and then we score the 2 goals in the second half and win it. But I'll just stick to the 2-0.
Maybe a Maguire own goal.
Oh, Maguire on goal to start it off to tie the game, and then I'm not gonna be
either
that
way,
mean and
we get
say he's gonna get the winning goal.
Spurs win.
If we get the winning goal from Maguire, then we put him in. We give him a medal.
Give him a medal.
And I was just for our viewers, I was just going to show what the table looks like, and this is why we watch football, right? Man U and Tottenham are having an absolute crappy season in the league, right?
Disastrous.
And they,
Close to relegation, but there's a very, very good chance one of these teams will be in the Champions League next season.
that's crazy, right?
Football is amazing. Awesome, awesome. Any final thoughts before we close out here? It's been an awesome conversation with you guys, Yinka and Reuben. Charles, any final
Don't you guys
thoughts?
want to know who I'm predicting to win the Europa League?
All right, give us. You say you know who's gonna win all 3 trophies.
I think first of all, you need to worry about your own team first. 'Cause
Hey,
you guys are not.
I am worried about my own
Let
team.
me tell
Don't
you
worry.
something. You're gonna play either Florentina. You know what?
You know
I
what?
hope because I think it's Florentina and Betis on the other end, on the other tie
It
of the
doesn't
conference
matter.
league. I hope that Betis wins so that Anthony, it's
Yeah.
Anthony that's gonna knock you out.
It will be
Anthony is
interesting.
gonna Anthony is gonna beat you in the final.
But so the way I see it though, predictions are just predictions. I don't know anything. I was just talking. But I have a feeling Barca is gonna win Champions League. I have a
La
feeling
mia
Chelsea will
madre.
win Conference League. Now for the Europa League,
Europa League.
I was gonna pick Spurs to upset Man U. But now that I know that Spurs has beaten Man U 3 times in a row, I think Man U will step up and take over in the final. So for the Europa League, I'm picking Man U. But if Spurs win, you can still say I said so first.
No.
But just because you said Man U, now I'm not even confident anymore. I
Oh,
know for sure we're going to lose. For sure.
He had a little bit of confidence, and he just took that from him.
I had no confidence, but now I'm not even going to watch the game. I'm
oh
not
wow!
watching it.
I'll watch it on behalf.
The irony of football will be Athletic now goes to win the Europa League.
Well, that is also still very possible. So.
So yeah, anything possible at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Ruben, Yinka, thank you guys so much for spending time with us
Hey,
today. We
it's always
really,
fun,
really
man.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
always nice talking football with you. Cheers.
Of course.
Yes. Bye.